Winter comes fast. The snow piles. The days shorten. And suddenly, the home becomes the world. But here's the question. How do the Amish keep their homes spotless when the outside is frozen, when boots drag in mud, when fire ash spreads every morning? Their secret is not machines, not chemicals. It's rhythm, it's discipline, and it's simpler than you think. Today we step inside that world. Quiet homes, clean air, no clutter, just the easiest ways of order lived daily. Stay close, because once you see it, you'll never look at cleaning the same. The Amish way of winter cleaning. Winter for the Amish is not only cold winds and frozen fields. It is also time of order, a season when the outside slows down and the inside of the home becomes the focus. You walk into an Amish home in January and you feel it. Clean air, with scent, everything in its place. No chaos. It doesn't happen by magic. It happens because they live by rules. Simple rules. No excuses. Cleaning is not an event for them. It is a lifestyle. And winter, with its heavy boots and ashes from stoves, tests that lifestyle. The Amish answer with steady habits. Calm movements. Nothing rushed, yet nothing left undone. That's why even in the harshest snow, their houses look like sanctuaries. Daily small steps over big burdens. The Amish don't wait for dirt to explode into a problem. No, they nibble at it each day until it never grows. Floors swept every morning, even before breakfast. Children shake off snow and hang coats neatly without being asked. Boots lined in a straight row by the door, not thrown in piles. The wood stove cleared of ashes before it overflows. These are not heavy tasks. They are light. They are habits. And that's the secret. They don't make cleaning a huge, scary mountain once a week. They make it a path of tiny steps every day. So in winter, when mud and snow sneak inside, the mess never controls them. They control it. Natural tools over modern bottles. Their homes smell different too. Not chemical, not artificial lemon from a spray can. Just vinegar, baking soda, a bit of lye soap made by hand, maybe a rag from old cloth. These tools are old, but they work. Windows fogged by frost are wiped with hot water and vinegar. Wooden tables scrubbed with soda until they shine, but never lose their grain. Stains removed by patience, not by toxic foam. The Amish don't waste money on brands. They rely on knowledge, on recipes passed down. And somehow, their homes feel fresher than many modern ones filled with perfumes. Simplicity makes the air lighter. Fire, heat, and the ash ritual. Winter heat brings both comfort and mess. The stove is the heart of the Amish home, but it leaves ashes like stubborn reminders of warmth. Most people would let it pile until it bothers them. Not the Amish. They scoop daily. Ash in metal buckets. No delay. Sometimes the ash is reused, scattered on icy steps, so no one slips. Even the leftovers of warmth have purpose. And the firewood? It isn't dumped in a corner. It's stacked neat, rows like soldiers, each piece belonging. The stove corner looks cared for, not wild. That's how they turn even the dirtiest chore into an act of order. Storage that feels like discipline. Winter brings clutter. Big coats, wet boots, scarves and gloves multiplying like rabbits. Amish homes fight back with design. Hooks lined across the walls. Benches with storage under the lid. Quilts folded into cedar chests that keep them dry and fresh. A place for everything. And a rule, return it there. They don't pile things randomly. They give them homes inside the home. A glove lost? Rare. A hat misplaced? Almost never. Because order is not an accident. It is trained into everyone, children and adults alike. That's why an Amish living room doesn't drown in winter mess. It breathes. Kitchens that never sleep. In winter, the kitchen works the hardest. More baking, more stews, more hands gathering around warm bread. It could easily collapse into chaos. But it doesn't, because the Amish don't leave for later. Flour spilled while kneading bread? Wiped immediately. Pans washed before they stack. Counters cleared every time. Jars lined neatly in cupboards, every lid checked. Root cellars organized so potatoes, apples, jars of pickles are easy to grab. They clean as they go. The kitchen never rests, but it never drowns either. It stays alive, humming like a steady machine, because neglect is not allowed in that space. Children in the system. One of their quiet secrets. Children. They don't grow up as bystanders in Amish homes. They grow as workers. A child brings firewood. Another sweeps the entryway. Another dries dishes with a rag too big for their hands. Small tasks, small lessons. Winter makes this stronger. Everyone is indoors. Everyone has a role. The children learn discipline. Mothers share the load. And cleaning feels less like a burden, more like teamwork. You can imagine it. Little boots shuffling would across the floor, laughter mixing with chores. It is slower, yes, but in the end, the house runs like a family-built clock. The Friday deep clean. Daily habits keep the dirt away, but the Amish still dig deeper once a week. Friday, always Friday, the day before the calm of Sunday. They sweep every rug. They dust corners. They shake bedding, sometimes hanging quilts outside, even in biting air. It looks strange to outsiders, blankets flapping in the cold, but it keeps them fresh. With no vacuum, brooms do the battle, and hand beaters strike dust out of rugs. It's harder work, yes, but done once a week, it never builds into disaster. This rhythm, this ritual, creates order that feels almost unbreakable. Owning less means cleaning less. Amish homes are clean partly because they're not stuffed. They don't hoard. They don't collect endless trinkets. They own what they need, and maybe a little more for beauty, but never too much. This is powerful in winter when the family spends all day inside. Less furniture means less dust. Fewer decorations mean less clutter. Each chair has a role. Each table is used. Nothing extra screams for attention. Simplicity becomes a shield against chaos. You notice it when you walk in. Space feels free. The mind feels light. And the cleaning? It feels easy because there's simply less to fight against. Cleanliness as quiet faith. At the deepest level, cleaning is not only about health for the Amish. It is spiritual, a reflection of inner order. They believe a tidy home shows respect for God's gifts. Work is done in silence sometimes, as though each stroke of a broom is a prayer. In winter, when family gathers close, when the outside world feels harsh, a clean home becomes shelter not only for the body but also for the soul. That's why the Amish treat winter cleaning not as punishment, but as ritual. A ritual of gratitude. A ritual of peace. So that's how the Amish face winter. Not with stress, not with chaos, but with small steps, steady habits, and a spirit of gratitude that turns cleaning into something almost holy. Maybe we can't live exactly like them, but we can borrow their ways. Sweep daily, own less, keep orders simple, and let the home breathe even when the world outside feels heavy. If this spoke to you, stay with us here at Rustic Pantry. More stories, more lessons from simple living. Until next time, keep it clean, keep it calm, and keep it rustic.